There is one thing people do that silently destroys attraction. Not in one big moment, slowly, quietly, until the other person is gone and they never fully understand why. And the painful part is that the person doing it almost always thinks they are doing the right thing. They think they are being caring, being attentive, being a good partner. But from the outside, it feels like something completely different. And once someone starts pulling away because of it, most people respond by doing even more of it, which accelerates the pull away until it becomes permanent. Today, I am going to show you exactly what this one thing is, why it destroys attraction, even when it comes from a genuine place of care, and what to do instead, so the dynamic completely reverses. The one thing you need to stop doing is this: making someone else's emotional state your responsibility. Read that again. Making someone else's emotional state your responsibility. When they are quiet, you panic and try to fix it. When they seem distant, you flood them with attention to pull them back. When they seem upset, you over-explain, over-apologize, over-give, trying to restore the good feeling. When they do not respond quickly, you send 3 more messages trying to reconnect. This pattern has a name. It is called emotional caretaking. And it is one of the fastest ways to make someone lose attraction for you completely. Here is why. When you make someone else's emotional state your responsibility, you are communicating something. You are communicating that you cannot tolerate their distance, that their mood controls your mood, that you need them to be okay in order for you to be okay. And that communication, even though it comes from care, lands as neediness. Neediness is the single most effective way to erode attraction, not because the other person is cruel, but because attraction requires a certain kind of dynamic tension. And neediness collapses that tension completely. Think about what attraction actually feels like. It has an edge to it, a slight uncertainty, a sense that this person has their own world, that they are not fully yours yet, that there is something more to discover. That edge is what creates the pull. The moment you start managing someone else's emotions, that edge disappears. You become too close, too available, too dependent on their state, and what was once magnetic becomes suffocating. Here is what emotional caretaking actually looks like in real life. They take a few hours to respond. You send a follow-up asking if everything is okay. They seem quiet during a conversation. You immediately ask what is wrong and try to fix the mood. They express mild frustration. You spend the next hour over-explaining and reassuring them. They seem slightly distant. You double your effort, your texts, your affection, trying to close the gap. Each of these responses comes from a loving place. That is the tragedy of it. But each of them sends the same message: I cannot handle your emotional weather. I need you to be in a good mood for me to feel stable. And that message is felt immediately, even if it is never spoken. The other person starts to feel a pressure building. Not the pressure of a fight, the pressure of always being someone's emotional anchor, of knowing that if their mood dips, the other person will spiral, of feeling like they cannot have a bad day without it becoming a whole situation. That pressure is exhausting, and eventually people escape it. Not because they stopped caring, but because they need room to breathe. Here is the psychology behind why this happens. Humans are wired to move toward freedom and away from pressure, not consciously, automatically. When someone feels pressured in a relationship, even subtly, their nervous system registers it as confinement. And the instinct to pull away is a biological response to that confinement. It is not personal. It is not a reflection of how much they care. It is simply the nervous system doing what it is designed to do. Seek space, seek relief, seek freedom. The more you chase when they pull, the more confined they feel. The more confined they feel, the harder they pull away, until the pull away becomes permanent. Now here is the part most people miss. The solution is not to stop caring. The solution is to stop making their emotional state the measure of your own stability. When they are quiet, you stay in your own grounded energy. When they are distant, you do not flood them. You give them the space they are reaching for. When they are upset, you acknowledge it without making it your emergency to fix. When they do not respond, you trust yourself enough not to send 3 more messages. This is not coldness. This is not indifference. This is emotional self-sufficiency. And emotional self-sufficiency is one of the most attractive qualities a person can have, because it communicates something powerful. It says, I care about you deeply, and I am completely okay whether you are in a good mood or not. I do not need you to perform happiness for me. I do not need you to manage my emotions. I am here, steady, real, and I trust you to handle your own internal world. That energy is magnetic. It creates safety without pressure. It creates warmth without suffocation. It creates connection without dependence. And that combination is what keeps people coming back. Let me show you exactly what changes when you stop emotional caretaking. First, the other person stops feeling managed. When you stop rushing in to fix every emotional dip, the other person feels trusted. Trusted to handle their own feelings. Trusted to come back when they are ready. That trust is deeply attractive. It says, I see you as capable. I am not afraid of your emotions. Second, the space you create pulls them back toward you. When someone pulls away and you do not chase, something happens. The space becomes theirs to fill. And most of the time, they fill it by coming back. Because the pull away was never about leaving. It was about breathing. And once they have breathed, they return, often with more warmth than before. Third, you become the calm in the dynamic. When you stop reacting to every shift in their mood, you become the stable one, the steady one, the one who does not spiral, and people are magnetically drawn to steadiness, especially in a world full of reactivity. Fourth, your own energy becomes more attractive. When you stop pouring all your energy into managing someone else's emotional state, that energy comes back to you. You become more present, more grounded, more interesting, because your energy is no longer being consumed by monitoring someone else. It is being invested in your own life, your own direction, your own world. And that self-investment is what creates the magnetic pull in the first place. Here is the hardest part of making this shift. It will feel wrong at first. When they go quiet, and you resist the urge to flood them with messages, it will feel like you are being cold. When they seem distant and you hold your own energy instead of chasing, it will feel like you do not care. But that feeling is the old pattern recognizing that it is losing control. It is not the truth. The truth is, you care enough to give them room. You trust them enough to let them come back on their own. You respect them enough not to make their bad day your crisis. That is not coldness. That is the highest form of emotional maturity in a dynamic. And they will feel the difference. Not immediately, but they will feel it. Here's what I want you to take from this today. Check how often you are chasing someone else's emotional state. Check how often their mood determines your mood. Check how often you overgive, overtext, over-apologize in response to their distance. Because every time you do, you are training them to associate you with pressure. And the moment they associate you with pressure, the pull away begins. But every time you hold your own energy, stay grounded and trust the dynamic. You train them to associate you with safety, with ease, with something worth returning to. That is the shift. From pressure to ease, from chasing to grounding, from caretaking to trusting. Make it and watch what happens. If this hit close to home, subscribe to Pulse Psychology. We go this deep every single day. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you been emotional caretaking without realizing it? I will see you tomorrow.